If you're a senior traveler in your 70s or beyond, you might be missing out on perks the airlines won't tell you about. From hidden fare discounts to special treatment at security, airlines keep these benefits under wraps. But knowledge is power. Today, as your friend, I'll reveal 13 secret benefits for older travelers. Real, underpublicized advantages that can save you money, time, and hassle. Stay tuned, because these tips could completely change the way you fly and ensure you travel with comfort and dignity. Let's jump right in here. Are the 13 hidden benefits airlines don't advertise for passengers over 70? And, do not miss number 13. It will shock you. Number 1. Unadvertised senior discounts on airfare. One of the best-kept secrets in air travel is that major airlines offer senior discounts. But they won't show up unless you know where to look. For example, United Airlines lets you select a senior 65-plus passenger when booking tickets, automatically applying any senior fare if available. Airlines like Delta and American also quietly provide special rates for travelers around 65 or older, often 5 to 15% off the standard fare on select routes. These discounts aren't advertised on airline websites. Delta's site explicitly notes that senior fares exist in certain markets, but you have to call reservations to book them. The airlines won't volunteer this info when you pay full price online. Savvy seniors call the airline or use the senior passenger filter to uncover these lower fares. Real-world example. A retired couple saved roughly $200 on Delta by calling and asking for the senior rate on a cross-country flight, a discount the airline would never have applied automatically. Always ask about senior pricing, even if you don't see an option online. Number 2. AARP membership flight discounts. Being an AARP member can unlock exclusive flight deals that airlines don't openly promote. British Airways, for instance, quietly offers AARP members up to $65 off economy and $200 off business class round-trip tickets between the United States and Europe. That's a huge savings for an international trip. Some U.S. carriers partner with AARP for periodic promotions, and the AARP Travel Center often has negotiated rates for seniors on flights and vacation packages. These deals aren't advertised by the airlines because they're available through AARP's channels. Real example. An AARP member planning a bucket list trip to London saved $130 on 2 British Airways tickets using the AARP discount code, a benefit many seniors never hear about. Even for domestic travel, always mention or check for AARP discounts when booking. You might be surprised at the special fares or added perk that pop up. Airlines would rather you never find these partnership deals, but they're out there for smart travelers to seize. Number 3. Expedited airport security for ages 75 plus. The TSA has special expedited screening rules for travelers 75 and older, a fact that isn't exactly shouted from the rooftops at airports. If you're 75 or older, you no longer need to remove your shoes or light jacket at standard security checkpoints. That means you can keep your comfortable shoes on and a sweater or blazer too, similar to the benefit TSA gives pre-check members. Seniors 75 and up also often get directed to a shorter line or receive expedited screening by default. For instance, TSA might route you through the metal detector instead of the full body scanner. It's all about making screening less onerous for older adults. Many seniors don't realize they're entitled to this easier process. You might be dutifully untying your shoes because no one told you it's not required. The policy is real. Travelers over 75 can keep shoes and jackets on during screening. If a TSA officer doesn't acknowledge your age, politely mention it and ask if you qualify for the senior's expedited screening. This hidden perk can save you physical strain and time in the line. Number 4. TSA Cares assistance and notification cards. Airports can be overwhelming, but there's a little-known support system for seniors and travelers with medical conditions. TSA Cares is a program you can contact 72 hours before your flight to request special assistance at security. They can arrange for a passenger support specialist, a TSA staffer who meets you at the checkpoint to help guide you through screening. This is incredibly helpful if you have mobility issues, a pacemaker, insulin pump, or even just anxiety about the process. Additionally, TSA provides a notification card you can carry that discreetly informs officers of any health condition or implant, like a hip replacement, that might affect screening. The card lets you state medical devices or disabilities without having to explain out loud to the whole line. Most people have never heard of these options, and you won't see airlines advertising them. For example, a 78-year-old traveler with Parkinson's disease used TSA Cares to get a support specialist at LAX. They provided a wheelchair and a dedicated agent who walked him through a private screening, avoiding the noise and rush of the normal line. It made a world of difference. Number 5. Preboarding rights. Preboarding means you get on before the general boarding groups, so you can take your time down the jetway and get settled without the crowd rushing behind. U.S. regulations actually require airlines to offer this to any passenger with a disability or need, including many older travelers who might not move as quickly as they used to. The trick is you must notify the gate agent. Simply walk up to the gate attendant before boarding starts and say, "I'll need a little extra time to board." They will typically issue you a pre-board pass or invite you to board early, ahead of first class and everyone. Number 6. Free wheelchair and cart transportation. Airlines are required to provide wheelchair assistance at the airport free of charge, but many seniors don't realize this invaluable service is just a request away. If trekking through a huge airport is challenging, you can call the airline ahead of time or ask at the check-in counter for a wheelchair escort. Once requested, it's the airline's responsibility to get you to your gate and connections on time. Trained personnel will push the wheelchair, help with your carry-ons, and even assist you during connections or bathroom stops if needed. This isn't limited to those who use wheelchairs daily. If you sometimes need help due to age or stamina, you can still use the service. For instance, an 80-year-old with knee trouble might walk fine at home, but can't cover a mile of airport corridor. A wheelchair attendant will happily ferry them between gates. Many large hubs also have electric carts that zoom around terminals. You can ask to ride on a cart if walking is hard. Scheduling it in advance is best. A bonus: if you have a companion traveling with you, they're usually allowed to ride along on the cart and board early with you as well. Number 7. Gate escort passes for family helpers. Airline rules might seem strict about only ticketed passengers pass security, but there's a little-known exception. Seniors or disabled travelers can have someone escort them to the gate with a special pass. This is called an NPE pass or gate pass. If you're an elderly person who feels unsure about navigating the airport alone, your adult child, friend, or caregiver can accompany you right to the boarding gate even if they aren't flying. So, how does it work? Simply request a gate escort pass at the airline's check-in counter. Show your ID and explain that you need to assist or escort an elderly traveler, and they will issue a pass allowing you through security. Only one escort per traveler is allowed in most cases, but honestly, that's usually enough. For example, a daughter helping her 90-year-old mother fly cross-country can get a gate pass to help mom through security, wait together at the gate, and ensure she boards safely. Likewise, if grandma is flying in alone, a family member can get a pass to meet her at the gate as she disembarks. This policy is a lifesaver for seniors with cognitive issues or just nervous about airports. Number 8. Extra carry-on allowance for medical devices. Airlines typically limit you to one carry-on bag and one personal item except when it comes to medical equipment. Under federal rules, medical devices and assistive items don't count toward your carry-on limit. This means if you need to travel with a CPAP machine for sleep apnea, a portable oxygen concentrator, a nebulizer, or even a large bag of prescription supplies, you're allowed to bring those in addition to your normal carry-on. The Department of Transportation explicitly says the usual baggage limits do not apply to medical supplies and assistive devices. Passengers with disabilities may carry such equipment on board freely. Airlines often bury this info in fine print. As a result, many seniors either don't bring critical equipment or check it because they think they have no choice. But you can bring, say, a CPAP bag on the plane and still have your suitcase and purse along. The CPAP won't be counted as your personal item. Number 9. Exemptions to liquid restrictions for medications and nutrition. We all know the TSA's strict 311 rule. Liquids must be in tiny 3.4-ounce bottles. But did you know medically necessary liquids are exempt from this limit? This is crucial for seniors who carry liquid prescriptions, insulin, nutritional supplements, or even liquid food for medical diets. You can bring larger quantities of liquids or gels if they're medically necessary, as long as you declare them to the TSA officer for inspection. For instance, if you have a prescription skin cream, liquid medication, or extra bottled water because of a specific condition, you are allowed to take those through security. The TSA will likely do an extra screening on these items. They might swab the liquid or ask you to open it, but they will not force you to toss essential liquids. The key is to separate these items from your other carry-ons and inform the officer before screening begins. Number 10. Free checked bags for mobility aids. If you rely on any kind of mobility aid, a wheelchair, walker, cane, crutches, or even a motorized scooter, airlines must transport those items for free. They can't charge you a baggage fee for assistive devices, and it doesn't count toward any checked luggage limit. For example, you might be traveling with a suitcase plus a folding walker. Even if your suitcase is the only checked bag under your fare, the walker still flies free and doesn't incur an extra bag fee. The same goes for wheelchairs. Whether it's a lightweight travel wheelchair or, say, a $25,000 powered chair, the airline must handle it without charge and return it to you promptly upon landing. Many seniors are hesitant to bring their own wheelchair on a trip, fearing damage or cost. While damage sadly does happen on occasion, know that if the airline does break a wheelchair, they are 100% liable to repair or replace it, no matter the cost. They won't tell you that, but it's the law. Some additional perks. On aircraft above a certain size, there's often a closet or space to stow a folding wheelchair in the cabin, so it doesn't have to go to cargo. And if you prefer, you can use the wheelchair all the way to the plane door, and then have it gate checked and returned at the door after landing, so you don't have to be without it in the airport. Number 11. Leniency with ID requirements. Worried that your ID has expired or that you don't have the new real ID? Seniors, take heart. TSA has built-in leniency for identification issues. TSA will accept an expired driver's license or state ID for up to 12 to 24 months past expiration in many cases. That means if your driver's license expired on your last birthday and you haven't been able to renew it, you can still use it to fly domestically this year. Additionally, if you show up without an ID at all, it happens, maybe you forgot your wallet or lost your ID, you won't automatically be turned away. TSA has an identity verification process where they'll ask you to fill out a form and may ask personal questions to confirm your identity against databases. You might also undergo extra screening, but in most cases, once they're satisfied, you will be allowed to board. Airlines themselves won't tell you this, and even some TSA officers might not volunteer it, but it's enshrined in policy. Number 12. Special seating accommodations. If you have specific seating needs due to health or disability, they must accommodate you, often by giving you a better seat for free. For instance, if you have a fused knee or limited mobility in your leg, you can request a bulkhead seat or an aisle seat with extra legroom to stretch out that leg, and the airline has to provide it if it's available. They cannot charge you for the upgrade in that situation because it's an accommodation for a disability. Likewise, if you're traveling with a personal care assistant or companion who needs to help you eat, take medication, or communicate, the airline must seat that person next to you. This could mean moving you both into a two-seat row or into a section with open seats. All of this is mandated by the Air Carrier Access Act. Airlines can't make you pay extra for these necessities. As a practical example, imagine a 74-year-old traveler with severe arthritis who cannot bend her knee enough to sit in a cramped coach seat. She informs the airline of her condition, and there happens to be an open bulkhead seat. The airline is obligated to rearrange her to that seat at no charge so she can fly safely. Number 13. Compassionate and medical ticket waivers. Many airlines have compassionate policies to waive change fees or offer refunds or credits if you can't fly due to a medical emergency or family death. They absolutely do not advertise this on their sale pages. For example, if you fall seriously ill right before your trip, several airlines will waive the usual cancellation penalties if you provide a doctor's note stating you're unfit to fly. In one case, a traveler who became very sick days before a flight was able to cancel her trip, faxed in a note from her physician, and the airline refunded her $200 cancellation fee as a travel credit. Airlines like Delta even have formal medical emergency fares and will waive change fees for the return portion of a trip if, say, you need to rush back home due to a medical crisis. United has been known to offer what they call compassionate refunds, letting you cancel a non-refundable ticket for credit if a family member dies or you have a severe illness, once you submit documentation. Even No Frills JetBlue has quietly made exceptions, waiving change fees for a customer who ended up in the hospital after seeing the hospital records. The important thing here is you have to ask, and ask nicely, through the airline's customer service channels. When an emergency strikes, call the airline, explain the situation, and ask if they offer any emergency or bereavement waiver. Most agents won't bring it up unless you do.